everyone. So we've had a really busy couple of weeks over here. We just got back from our third visit to Concordia University in Ann Arbor, which was a ton of fun, and we had the biggest crowd yet and got a fantastic standing O at the end, so we were very excited. We were actually performing Act 3 of Black Violet, so we've been lucky enough to be able to visit Ann Arbor with Acts 1, 2, and 3 of that series, which is kind of a rare and special thing. And Ezra was able to join us. He is the graphic novelist who created the narrative and art for Black Violet. And he was able to join us for a class that we did earlier in the day to kind of show how the art and the music went together. And one of the things that I thought was so fabulous about that class is that he actually showed us sort of the narrative timeline that he uses in order to map out a piece. So he would take that piece in GarageBand and you see, the timeline of the piece with all of the squiggles where, the sound is. And then you'd see his hash marks where he noticed changes in the music. And then you'd also see him writing emotional cues next to every hash mark. So you'd see, sounds scary, something really great has happened, I just fell in love, that kind of stuff. And then underneath that, he'd actually write the narrative that would end up being the actual scene. One of the things that I thought was really great about that process was that it was a direct parallel to what we do in the classroom. And we had never actually spoken about that. This was something that Ezra did, 2 years ago for our series. But that actually is exactly the procedure that we use when we're teaching students how to create stories around music. We literally draw a line across the blackboard and say, all right, class, raise your hand when you hear a change in the music, and we draw hash marks there and write down 1 minute and 33 seconds or whatever the timing is on the iPod. And then after that we start saying, okay, so at these changes, what do you hear in the music? And we write those emotional cues in. And that helps us to create a poem or a story or whatever it is that we happen to be working on that day. So it's really cool for us to see that Ezra used exactly the same process when he was creating his work with us for the concert stage, and really fun to see those two worlds kind of collide. Also this week we were working a lot on grants. It is that magical time of year where it's really hard to reach me by phone because I'm constantly writing grants. And it's that season now, so we're getting a lot of different opportunities in. So I'm sure that I'll do a video blog about the process that we use for finding funding and for creating successful proposals, because it's definitely an art form for sure. And we're heavily in planning for next season's shows, so we're contacting venues and sourcing all of our collaborators, which is really great. And then the other thing that happened this week is that we just started taking all of our acceptances in for the Fresh Ink Festival in June. So we now know that we have 12 composers joining us and something like 18 instrumentalists, and it's going to be so much fun. We're really excited to work with everyone. We're excited to perform a lot in really great spaces with big audiences, and we're just excited to see what happens when we put everybody together and have the opportunity to work with the huge list of fantastic experts that are on the Fresh Ink program for this year. So that's pretty much what's been going on for the last couple of weeks. As you notice, it's a glasses day because that's a lot for us to accomplish in a short amount of time, but it's definitely been worth it, and we're looking forward to checking back in with you in the next couple when I will have written 17 more grants, and we'll have a much clearer idea of what the Fresh Ink program actually looks like in terms of schedule. So it's going to be great. Looking forward to seeing you then.